Amazing. Thank you very much for being here in the call. I'm already recording. Thank you for everything.
Oh, yeah.
I discovered you the other day in Twitter, and it's very interesting what you are doing. That's the reason that I thought, okay, it would be amazing to talk with you. And yes, let's start with the question. Okay, I prepare here like
Okay.
one of them because, for example, the most interesting thing, and you can present already the tool. Uh, Wait a second. I hear because TypeBoost.ai, you create this tool. It's not
Right.
like a website. It's like like a software. Like you download it in a Mac, right? Like
Right.
what
It's
do
a
you
Mac app.
decide? Exactly an app. How do you decide not to do it like like Google Chrome extension or something like that? And because I suppose the friction, a lot of people don't want to download this, is a little bit high and different than other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Like, actually, I've never done a Mac OS app before. I mainly do web apps, and I also did an iOS app before. But yeah, when I came up with the concept of TypeBoost, I first did the like the early experiments in the web as well. So I just built a mini tool where I can save prompts that I constantly use in the web. But then I always needed to this website, right, and paste
Yeah.
in texts and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, that's annoying. It would be way better if I can just use it like anywhere, where I'm working already. So yeah, I thought like, okay, I just asked ChatGPT. I've never done a macOS app. Like, is it complicated? I know React, all of this. So I know web development. So can I also do a macOS app? And then ChatGPT said, yeah, of course you can do it. It's easy. Just use Electron for it. I'm not sure if you know Electron,
No,
but
I don't know. Yeah.
it's basically you can build web apps for macOS. So you have a main thread that runs like on macOS. It's Node, but then all the front end is basically just a frameless Chrome browser. So so that's pretty nice, and it's also cross-platform because of that. So yeah, and then I did the macOS app, and I
Wow.
think it was a good decision because I use it in all kind of different apps. So yeah, that's why I
Wow,
did
it's
it.
very interesting. I suppose you need to like upload to the App Store and they need to approve, right? Like a normal app in the phone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for your macOS apps, you actually don't need to do that.
Ah,
Just for iOS apps. Yeah, that was also
interesting.
yeah,
If I'm not wrong, before you were a designer, right? Like working for other
right.
company, and you decide like, and you start learning about like, yeah, like coding, AI, and everything. How was the change, and how was the moment that you realized, like, I didn't want like a boss anymore. I want to have my own projects. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, I studied design, communication design, and actually I was self-employed from the beginning on, but first as a designer. So in my studies, I at one point started to go more to the direction of interactive media, they called it. So that's where you were making designs for interactive stuff, which could also be websites and web applications, but also mobile apps, also VR applications, and a lot of also 3D stuff, like different kind of stuff. But yeah, I went into this direction, and then I learned a bit about coding, and it was fascinating me, and I think it was fun. So so yeah, that's what I did in my studies, but the main focus was still on design. So after I finished my studies, I thought like, okay, I immediately want to be self-employed because somehow I just don't like if people tell me what I should do, right? so so that was somehow clear to me. But of course, the obvious thing is that you get like a freelancer, right? So I became a freelancer for web design then because it was kind of the mix of interactive media and design, and where you can like it's not that complicated to make money, like as if you're doing, I don't know, stuff for museums and other interactive media stuff. So web design was a good way, at least back then. I think still today, but I changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I started as a web designer. So I was a freelance web designer, and I designed websites for clients. And then at some point, when you design websites and also implement them, but just with Webflow and stuff like that, at some points you need to touch code because you need to make some things like work like in a special way, or to make some interactivity that is not just like supported by the tools. And for me, that were the most fun parts. So I was kind of interested to do more in this direction. And then at one point I got a client request and they wanted to have like a whole social media platform kind of in a way. So, and I wasn't sure how to do it, but I just said, okay, let's do it. And then during this, I learned about like React building whole web apps actually. And that was so much more fun to me than just to build websites with Webflow and stuff like that. So I decided, okay, I go full into web development because it's just way more fun. And that was also at the same time when ChatGPT came up. So I think that made learning really easy and fast. And yeah, so then I worked as a web dev freelancer for a while. And then after I worked for several clients and they paid me for my hours, and then I saw, okay, the products I built for them entirely, and they pay me for my working hours, make afterwards money for them. So, and then I don't profit from that anymore. So I thought, okay, wait, I can also build my own stuff, right? Then no one's going to pay me for my hours I work, but if it works after, like I can get all the money the products make. So I thought like, okay, definitely I should try to do this. And that's how I ended up in what I'm doing right now.
Makes sense. Yeah, I feel like learning like how to like code. It is like I always say like it's like India, or you like it or you hate it. You know, there is like nothing in between. It's interesting that each year there is like more like people like learning how to code, doing like project now with tools like Lovable Bolt. Each time more people are able to do that, which is amazing. But what do you think like separate that the one that just create like side project and the one that are able to get like revenue? Which like quality do you think you need to have to be able to get like customers that pay you? Because that's the difficult thing.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the mindset in the end. Because if you from the beginning on think, okay, it's just like a side project, you don't have that big of a motivation, you know, I think to really also distribute it and market it and everything. So I think coding is fun for sure. And also with like AI tools, Lovable and stuff like that, it's now pretty easy to build web apps. But the easy part is not like the setup of the whole, like the app in itself. It's, I think, first in the details, then later. And I think AI is right now not really good in fixing all the details. But then also in marketing and distribution, right? And this still takes a lot of effort. And then that's not the easy way anymore. And if it's just a side project for you, of course, you maybe don't have the motivation to like go all these hard steps to make actually revenue. But if you take it serious, you know, and you put a lot of time and effort into it, I think then your chances are way better. So I think in the end, it's your motivation and the mindset.
Makes sense. Makes sense. TypeBoost, you were in fact in like Product Hunt. I never launched anything in Product Hunt, and I am curious to know like how long did you make like research, like which day you should do it, how you should do it? You were like kind of scared at the beginning, like maybe it's gonna be difficult to get a boat. How was the process in your case? Very well, right?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Like I ended up in 4th position.
Wow!
But at one point of the day, I was even 1.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I was 3rd until the last 10 minutes, and then the 3rd overtook me. Yeah, but it was very successful because I got a lot of signups. I got new clients from it, so it was a nice launch. And the process was like this. I did a couple of Product Hunt launches before. So my first one was also my very first project when I started to indie develop apps. And like the most important thing for Product Hunt launches is to get featured, because every day they launch so many products, but they only feature like 20 of them. And the others you hardly even see. They are just like, you need to do some extra clicks to see them. So if you not get featured, you have like, basically it's not going to worth it then. The hard thing is you don't know what gets featured or not. So I until now, I not really find out any like way you can make sure that you actually get featured. So that's kind of luck, but I thought like, okay, I'm just going to prepare everything very well. I'm going to upload the images in the exact resolution. I'm going to design them very well. I write really nice text and stuff like that. So basically I just put a lot of effort into it. And I think then you have good chances. And then regarding the day and stuff like that, to research like which day is best, I think it depends. Like during the week, you have a lot more competition because more people launch, and you have a lot more traction as well because more people going to visit Product Hunt and stuff like that. And on the weekend, you have better chances to get like product of the day or something like that because there's just not that much competition. So I decided, okay, I want to get as much visibility as possible. So I'm definitely going to do it during the week. And then I did it on a Monday because I think for TypeBoost specifically, it's something you need to really kind of learn. You need to get a habit into it and use it constantly to really get like kind of, I would say, addicted or feel the benefit.
Yeah.
So it's not just you try it once and then you feel like, oh, it's awesome. No, you have to do it a couple of times and to kind of feel like, okay, I can use it like this. So I really benefit a lot from it. So I thought like when I do it Monday, people can use it during the week. And maybe if they on the weekends, they're not working that much or not that much in front of their computer. So I thought Monday is a good day. Yeah, that's how I came up with the day.
I suppose you get like a lot of users like sign up. I don't know if also like people paying from there. Like, tell me how that work like regarding the revenue. If people like pay for the product that day, and also nowadays that you are not in product hunt now, how do you get your customer? Like people talk like mouth, or like you do some like advertisement. How do you do it?
Yeah. First, from Product Hunt, there were a few immediate customers like who tried it and then directly bought a paid plan, which I'm wondering actually a bit why, because you have a free plan when you sign up and you can use this free plan for quite a long time. So maybe for weeks or even over a month. So that's why I'm not sure like how many people are going to convert to a paid plan actually, because most of them are still on the free plan. So this is going to be exciting. But I did this because, as I told you, you really need to get it into it, you know? You need to make it part of your workflow. And if it's part of your workflow, then the chances that you convert after are really high because you're already using it like a lot. And if you then run out of credits in the free plan and you need to upgrade, most of the users do it. Like then the conversion is really good. Yeah. And how I get the customers besides Product Hunt, that's actually a thing I'm also not 100% sure what's the best way. Because I try different kind of stuff. And best right now it just works like social media, especially X or Twitter. Because there I just have the biggest reach. But I think overall I'm exploring with different strategies on how to get more customers. I think SEO could be a really good way, but my results are not that strong right now. I want to try to do more with TikTok. I also don't do this right now, but I need to experiment, you know, because like for a Mac app, I don't know if TikTok is a good channel because people are on their phone. And they need to first go to their computer and get the app. But yeah, I definitely want to check that out. And yeah, then I want to experiment with paid ads because for like TypeBoost is my main focus right now, but I also have other apps I did. And for some of them, paid apps work really well. So this is my biggest conversion channel there. So I want to try that as well. And yeah, I think just mouth to mouth, just, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, because if Facebook ads, I suppose like you can filter and advertise at the same time people that they know like want like how to code and like productiveness, you know, like how to be productive at the same time. So yeah, I suppose it's like experience like different channels and to check which one is like more efficient. Now that you are like building like as a solo founder, you don't have like a fixed salary. How do you deal with like the psychological pressure, you know, of like maybe don't know like if the next month, this month, you know, you're gonna have money coming, but you have some savings, you trust a lot in yourself. How does it work for you?
Right. Yeah, that's I think definitely one of the biggest challenges. The thing is, I'm still working as a freelancer on the side. Not that much anymore, and I started with it again because like as I told you in the beginning, I was just freelancing, and I made like quite good money. So I saved up a bit, so I was able to live for quite a while only from the savings and building my own stuff. But at one point, I decided, okay, I need to, some kind of fixed income is important. It's still not fixed, right? Because I'm a freelancer. So sometimes there are more projects to work on, sometimes not. But yeah, still, I spent most of the time developing my own stuff. And yeah, I think it's the most important thing is just like to have trust in yourself, right? Because as you said, it's really hard that you never know, like, okay, how is the next month going to be? Will there a lot of customers? Will there be a drop in traffic and sales and everything? So I think this trust, and also to not get like how do you say, like anxious very quick if sales drop, for example. You need to trust again that it will be better at times, you know. So you need to think more long term instead of short term, what happens right now. But yeah, that's the thing. I think you need to be well aware of the risk. I think that's also
Yeah.
important as well. That you feel like, okay, what I'm doing is risky in a way. But yeah, I have the trust in myself that it can work. And that's basically the situation I have to deal with, you know. And if I get too anxious, I know I could always go back to freelancing, which will be kind of safe. So that's kind of the thing that lets me feel safe in a way, you know. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
you say it well. Sometimes my therapist told me, Carlos, you always need to be in the worst situation, and the worst situation, once you know and you accept, is not so bad. You know, it's like, okay,
Right.
I could have this if I don't do anything, and life is about risks. Makes a lot of sense. Which one mistake that you made while building TypeBoost that cost you a lot of like time and money that you know now, like, okay, I should have been done this differently?
Not sure if I know if there was like one big mistakes, but to be honest, I think so many big mistakes, and I'm probably still doing a lot of them. But I think the biggest mistake is, and I'm still doing this quite a lot, not putting enough time into marketing and distribution, because I love to develop new features and to improve the product itself. But that's like not in the end what counts, you know. In the end counts how many users do I have, how many paid users specifically, and this is the important thing. And most of them not using the features I add anyway, you know. So I think, yeah, that's the biggest. It's not like it's not that it was like one mistake I did at one point, but it's more like something I do constantly. But yeah, that's it mainly.
How people can find you? You are your app, Benny. Because I discovered you via Twitter, because I think, for example, X each time is more interesting because before the algorithm doesn't look like very well and it was harder to find like interesting people. Now when you follow, they recommend you, which is amazing. I mean, it's like the goal with like Instagram, but I think Twitter is much more productive and better than Instagram. So how can people find you?
You mean like me personally or my
app? Like, I mean, like if they want to try your product, we mentioned the name, but I suppose they go to the website and they get like they can download the app, right? And they receive free credit, correct?
Correct.
And later you do the cross-selling. If you like it, I suppose you have spent all the credit because you like it and you want more, right?
Exactly. That's how it works.
Have you thought about reducing the credit? Have you tried like different ways? I want more people to pay, you know, because someone need to pay all this party. Have you like, okay, let's try this other like way to do it?
Yeah, I experimented a bit with the amount of free credits people get. But that's basically it. And I recently just introduced a yearly or annual plan. Before I also only had monthly subscriptions. But I think it's actually good for people to have a lot of credits because, as I said before, you really need to get used to it and you really need to make it your habit. And so if people actually use it, and the goal is to have them as long-term customers so that they keep this subscription over a long time. So if so the risk of losing them, if I just give a few free credits and then they think like, okay, it's nice. Oh, I need to pay now. Okay, bye. So I think it's better if they have a lot of credits they can use and make it their habit. And then after they hopefully convert and stay long term because they already know the tool, right?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for sure I'm gonna download it now
Yeah,
because
you have to.
I was in the website and it looks amazing. And I like trying all the tools because you never know which one later you can be like much more productive or with which one you can get like more customers. That's the reason, I have like fixing Google Chrome like Product Hunt, because it's also, I think it's very useful to like have like new ideas, not to copy, but like give you ideas for your product. Like, I didn't think about implementing this tool or like,
For
so I
sure.
think yeah, sometimes it's help you to be like more creative and find out a new ways, and meeting like new
Yeah.
people that
Yeah,
are also creating. I think.
definitely.
Have you been before in Asia, Indonesia, Benny?
Yeah. I have been quite a few times to Bali, and then also like just to Lombok and the Gillies and stuff like that. And I've been to Jakarta as well. But
Jakarta too much
that's
chaos, eh?
yeah, too much chaos. I actually just went there during COVID for the to do the quarantine. But yeah, Jakarta, too much chaos.
Yeah. So the next destination should be Suma, Indonesia. Of course, we are creating a place where we want to organize a lot of events, invite a lot of like entrepreneurs, and of course, you are invited like to stay there. And later, I will send you also an email with a surprise, which I think is amazing. Because I always said I'm very fan of like the sentence to be productive in paradise. Like you are working for something that you love, but at the same time, you are like surrounded by people that are also creating things and amazing landscaping, and you are able to enjoy your life because it's happiness is freedom and mental peace, and to be in a place where you feel like surrounded by interesting people, I think is nice. I will share your link to your Twitter later in the video so people can check everything. And yeah, thank you very much, Benny, for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.